Being able to focus on yourself completely and being able to identify whether the way you think, the way you act, and the way you feel is completely in line with your inner standards is self-awareness. Hi guys, my name is Priya. Welcome back to the channel. So why is this self-awareness important? There are three reasons why. And the first reason is when you become more and more self-aware, you know what your strengths are, you know what your weaknesses are, and now you can start working on those things that you want to work to improve yourself. And the second reason why it's important is when someone criticizes you that you have some bad quality or you have something that they don't like. If you are not self-aware, you can become easily offended, easily angry, and you might even stop talking to that person who pointed out that quality in you. But when you're completely self-aware, you know that you have that problem, you can respond in a positive way to even the people who criticize you. You can say that, yes, I know and I'm completely aware that I have that problem and I'm working on it and hopefully I will overcome it soon. So you can take criticism in a better way when you are more self-aware. And the third reason why self-awareness is important is the more self-aware you are, the more confident you become. And when you know yourself inside out, you start accepting yourself and you start working on who you want to become and you start working on those qualities that you want to have. But self-awareness doesn't mean that you know one or two things about yourself and you completely become self-aware. It has different layers to it, and the deeper you go, the deeper level of understanding you have about yourself. In this book, the author Mark Manson says that self-awareness is like an onion. The deeper you peel, the deeper you understand who you are as a person. The first and foremost layer of self-awareness is understanding what your emotions are. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you angry? When do you feel the most hopeful? What gives you comfort? Understanding what your feelings and emotions are is the first and outermost layer of self-awareness. Sometimes we don't even know that we have a certain kind of emotion or we are expressing certain kind of feelings. But when someone does point it out to us, we become more and more aware of that and we start noticing that we have that emotion. We might be getting angry for simple things or frustrated for simple things which we might not notice, but when someone points it out to us, we start noticing it and we start becoming aware that we have that emotion in us. So the first layer of self-awareness is understanding what are your emotions and what are your feelings. And the second layer of self-awareness is understanding why you have those emotions. When you understand that you have certain emotions, it is also equally important to understand why you have those emotions. Sometimes the emotions may not be that simple. They may be very complex and complicated, and the cause of those emotions might be somewhere else. And knowing why we have certain emotions is far more difficult than knowing what our emotions are. It might even take years before we understand why we have certain emotions. Some people might even need therapy or counseling before they understand why they have certain emotions. But when you do understand why you have certain emotions, you understand where your anger is coming from. Is it because you failed at something, or is it because you think you're lazy, or is it because you think you're unworthy of something? Where is that anger coming from? You will know the root cause of your emotion, and now instead of dealing with your emotions superficially, you'll be able to deal with the root cause of your emotions, and this will help you manage your emotions better. So understanding why you have certain emotions is the second layer of self-awareness. And the third layer of self-awareness is understanding your inner values, understanding your personal values, why you think a certain way, what you consider success or a failure. And when you fail at something, or when someone around you fails at something, how do you judge them? What are the standards you're setting for yourself and for others? Understanding why you think a certain way or why you look at things a certain way, that is what will help you reach the deepest level of self-awareness. But To reach that level of self-awareness, you need to be constantly asking yourself questions to get to the bottom of it. And when you do get to the bottom of it, you understand what are the values which are driving your actions. And this can help you take the best decision for you and to understand what is right and wrong for you in any particular situation. So how do you know what your true values are? Sometimes we get confused with what our true values are. We might be saying that we value something but acting completely opposite to that. For example, if I say I value patience a lot and patience is one of my values, but when the situation comes, I get easily provoked, easily angry or easily irritated. That means patience is not my value at all. I was thinking that it is my value, but it is not. It is not about just saying what your value is, but how you react when that particular value is in question. For example, if you are a very generous person and you are in a group of people who are not so generous, maybe your family or your friends, and when you're trying to give something to others or when you're trying to help someone, the people around you might stop you, might discourage you from doing it, but you will not be influenced by the people around you. It is not about saying that something is your value, but to identify and to see whether your actions are resonating with your idea of your values. So in this previous situation, if you did go ahead and listen to those people and you stopped doing what you were supposed to do or what you were doing, that means generosity is not your value at all. You have been thinking that generosity is your value, but it is not your value. So this is how you identify what your true value is. If your actions and what you say your value is in line and it is matching, that means that is your true value. If it is not, then it's not your true value and you need to keep searching for what your true value is. So self-awareness is all about understanding who you are as a whole. When you are more and more self-aware, you become more and more confident and you'll be happy with who you are and what you have. The more honest you are with yourself, you find more fulfillment in life, even if you have very little. So I hope in this video you understood the different layers of self-awareness and how you can get to a deeper understanding about yourself and how it plays a major role in you becoming confident about yourself and how you can even face criticism when you become more self-aware. I'll see you in this video right here. Until then, you take care.